Hi guys, just doing a video review on my most recent purchase, which is this Amztronic drone. This is a slightly newer model in comparison to the one I reviewed a few weeks ago, and it has an additional extra feature. So I thought I'd do a video review just to show you guys it all in its individual pieces and let you know how I got on with it as well. So just like the other model, the first thing you immediately notice is this is again very light, and I'll come on to the pros and cons of that in a second. So let's give you a good look around the product first. So as you can see, you've got your four blades just there. On the underside, you've got your LED indicators which light up and they flash different sequences to let you know what's going on with the drone, whether it's connected, that sort of thing. On here you've got your, hopefully the camera can pick it up, there we go. On here you've got your rail for the camera for the drone, and I'll come on to that in a second as well, and that just clips into place. You've got your power on button, you've got your charging cable insert on the bottom just there, just to charge the battery. You've also got the camera connector there, and then you've got the servo connector just there as well. And then just on the back, within this slot here, you've got your battery which is just tucked away. Now this battery is removable, but it's quite tricky to actually pull out. The other thing I noticed with this is you don't actually get a memory card with this either. So there's no memory card with it. This is the camera itself, so let's give you a good look around the camera. It's a 720p camera, and overall the quality on it is pretty good, I'd say. It's pretty nice, and on here where you have the memory card is just on the back there, so you slot the memory card into there and it will either record straight onto the memory card, or it can also record or take snapshots onto your phone. If you can hear that noise there, that is the servo or the motor in there, and this is adjustable in flight. So what that means is, once you've got it connected up just like so, if you imagine if you're flying it and you decide the angle's not quite right, you're not getting that right shot, you can adjust the angle. You can't do the pan on the left or the right, but you can actually adjust the angle up and down. So that's really good. So that's what you get. The other things you get are a screwdriver and 4 extra blades, as well as a set of screws in case you snap any in case you snap any of the blades. You obviously get your instructions, and on the back it tells you the spare parts that are available, so I'll quickly go through those as well. So you can get a spare Wi-Fi camera, battery, cables, receiver board, protective guards, all of that sort of stuff. These are your protective guards, so you get 4 of those, and the way it works is they literally will just clip into there to protect the rotors. So you get 4 of those. You get your feet, obviously. So the feet, again, they just screw in, and they are pretty straightforward to screw in. All you do is, not that way around, that way round, you tuck them in and they screw in just like that. So you'd have 4, and again that means you can get a nice secure landing. And this is your remote control, and that's for your mobile phone, and this is obviously your mobile phone guard. It doesn't actually come with a sun shield, so some of the remote controls will come with the mobile phone holder, but they'll also come with a sun shield to protect it from the sun. With this particular model, unfortunately, you don't get that, so that's the other thing you get with it. This is your remote control, and it does need 4 AAA batteries, as you can see there. So yeah, okay, so this is the remote control, and I will show you all of the different instructions. So with this, I'm not an expert, so I will have the instructions side by side so I can take you through exact controls. So here you have hover up and down, you have forward and backward, turn left and right, you have sideward flying just there. You have the trimmer adjustments for left or right flying, and then you have the trimmer for forward and backward. And then the other controls that you have on here are, he says so confidently, you've got your one button, takeoff and landing. You've got your return home button. You have your speed adjustment mode. So this was quite fun. So if, for example, you get quite good at the standard speed, you can use the secondary speed mode and it ups the speed of the rotors and it's a bit more fun. With these buttons on the top here, what you have is you can take photos or videos if you press a short press, and then you've got your 3D rolling, and the 3D rolling is basically a 360 flip that it does as well. So you can do all of that using the remote control. Distance wise, you've got pretty good coverage, however it's not massive. You can, I believe, no you can't. Okay, so I did think there was an antenna in there, but apparently there isn't. So I don't think you can actually add an additional antenna onto this. With some of the units you can add additional antennas just so that you can get that slightly better distance on them. With this particular one you can't. In terms of height wise, probably say it gets up to about 150 foot in the air, so which is pretty good. You don't need a license or anything like that for that. And then connectivity wise, it's also got a Wi-Fi connection with your phone. It will go further than 150 feet. However, what happens is your Wi-Fi connection on your phone starts to drop out and then it starts to become an issue. So you can fly it, but you can't exactly see what footage it's recording. So that's where it becomes a bit of an issue. You can control its flight with the phone as well. So if the remote control runs out of battery, you can use that and you can use the app. The app is pretty good. It's a little bit laggy at times, but with any of these sorts of apps, they do have a slight lag issue, but it works pretty well. So overall into the ratings. So I did say it was, so you've got your indicator here. So with this one, it's all just a standard indicator where the LED light flashes on the background to tell you what it is. So here you've got the different speeds. You've got 4 different speeds. You've got your roll, your camera, your headless mode, as well as making sure that the status is connected. So I did say that the actual drone itself was super light, and that has its benefits. So the first thing is it's going to use less power to get up in the air, so it's going to last as long as it can efficiently with the battery that it has. Now the downside is that these types of drones become more susceptible to wind. So what you'll find is if there's a sudden gust of wind, it can throw it off course, or it can make it very difficult to control. With the heavier drones, so my friend's got a drone who his drone weighs about 5 kilos. It's much more expensive than this, but with that it works really well with wind, and it's much more stable. This does have, I think, 3 or 4 different gyros to help stabilize it, so it will try and hover in one mode. But because if there's a sudden gust of wind, because it is so susceptible, the gyros do struggle a little bit to try and compensate back. So you will see a slight rocking in your video if a gust of wind comes along. On my friend's one, the difference is it weighs 5 kilos, so if there's a sudden gust of wind, it doesn't move, or if it does move slightly, the gyros have time to compensate back, because actually the delay between the movement is a little bit longer. So that's probably the downside of it. The other thing that I don't like is it didn't come with an extra battery. So again, it means your flying time is shortened a little bit as well, so that's not so good. But apart from those 2 things, overall then, it's not bad. It's pretty good. I'm impressed with it. I think for me, ideally at 100 quid, yes, would I like it to do more? Probably. The going home function is pretty good, so if it goes out of range, it comes back, which the other drone didn't do. The easy takeoff and easy landing is really good as well. So if you're learning, or if you're a bit useless with drones like I am, you can take it off and it will hover in its place really easily as well. So that's pretty good. So it has some really good features. So I don't think it deserves anything below a 4. I think the weight is always a slight issue, and that's probably what's again stopping it from getting the full 5 stars. but overall a fantastic product, and it works really, really well. The gyro on the camera works really, really, really well, and it means you can get some great footage as well. So as always guys, thanks for watching.